What's going on, everybody? It's your man Sabir Bay. Actually, it's I think it's what September the 24th, 25th, September 25th. Actually today. This is a little something I wanted to put together as far as unifying and actually bringing our people together, because we do a lot of debating with each other, and we want to cease that. We want to actually go after those people who are really misleading our people. By now, you all should know by now the movie been out probably a few months. Hidden Colors, that I actually premiered in. Brothers like Booker T. Coleman, Phil Valentine, Sarah Ali, Francis Cresswell, Umar Johnson, put on by the great brother Tariq Nasheed. The film is doing very good. It came out in April, which if you don't have a copy of it, I wish you please go out there and get it, because I'm gonna tell you, it's a hell of an educational piece. Right now we're working on trying to do another one. So a lot of things I do, I dibbled and dabbed in probably over 50 something lectures that I have done on DVD. And before we go any further, I gotta give a shout out to all the real soldiers in hip hop, like my man M1 from Dead Prez, Mortal Technique, Fleet of Lupe Fiasco, KRS-One, Africa Bambaataa, Mos Def, Talib Kweli, and the list goes on and on and on. And my man Black Dot from New York. I can't forget my man Black Dot. Hot CD. So if you don't have a CD, you got to get that also, called Walk With Me. These brothers have been really staying straight, not going astray, and dealing with mainstream. But that's another story. I just have to give a shout out to these brothers, and can't forget Stickman also. And Wise Intelligence. Wow, man, we got a list of cats, man. Big up to my man Wise Intelligence too. Everybody that's in real hip hop, not rap music. So I just had to do that real quick for everybody before we get started. So, yeah.
Okay, well, Brother Sabir, a lot of people want to know, how did you come into this wealth of information and knowledge? Where did you study?
Wow, where did I study from? Well, first and foremost, I gotta give a shout out to my elder Taj Tariq Bey. Before Taj Tariq Bey, there was a brother named by the name of Kamara Gabriel. And brother Kamara Gabriel was the one who I used to see all the time with this red hat on his head. You know, I used to call it a hat at the time. I didn't know. But it was a fez. Standing up to the police, challenging their jurisdiction. So he pulled me under his wing, spent countless hours in his brother's house. We was up till like 4 or 5 in the morning, going through dictionaries, like looking up different words he would tell me to study. Sat under this brother for probably like 2 to 3 years before he introduced me to brother Taj Tariq Bey. This was over probably 12 to 13 years ago. He introduced me to brother Taj Tariq Bey over in Camden, New Jersey. Now in Camden, New Jersey, we used to have a class called the Moore's Order of the Round Table, which was at 7 o'clock and it ended until whatever. And the story and the relationship had begun. You know what I mean? It just grew, man. I was under Taj's wing for God knows how many years. He taught me to go and start studying things on my own. From that point on, it was history. You know what I mean? It was history. So yeah, it started with brother Kamara Gabriel, which most people don't, he's not really around anymore. But then it extended to my teacher, brother Taj Tariq Bey.
Well, what are some of the books that you read and draw off of?
Wow, glad you brought that up. What's some of the books that and you know what? And I'm also doing this because I want to call up. This is a call out, and I challenge any attorney on this. And I always say this, for the past 12 years I've been doing this study. I've always challenged these attorneys. I want these attorneys, and if you think that I'm wrong on anything that I'm even saying tonight, I would want you to please try to reach out to me and challenge me on anything that I'm doing. Everything that I'm doing is dealing with factology. We're dealing with facts here. So you asked me some of the books that I read, and these are some of the books that I would always suggest people to get. One book is called, which I bought this book probably like 10 cents. It's called American Civics. Anybody that was in school in 1960s, 1970s used to have this book. This is one book. There's another book called America Jurisprudence. Our American Jurisprudence is where the Americans' laws come from. We talk about also Corpus Juris Secunda. And corpus, anybody that's in law school, well, you really don't practice, you don't get this in law school. But any so-called attorneys that's out there right now, they should know about American Jurisprudence. American Jurisprudence is the science of law. And this is actually was taken out of one of these libraries called The Complete Reinstatement of the entire American law. A corpus juris secundum will have everything that you're looking for in there, not their statutories. Corpus juris secundum. Look it up on the computer, people. Look this up, and then go out and ask an attorney, why don't he build on this when they have these court cases? Also, another good book, and I always tell people, is a Black's Law Dictionary. Always should have a Black's Law Dictionary in your home. It ain't got to do with no black person. His name is Henry Black. That was the name. And some attorneys will try to divert you and say, well, we don't deal with that, but that's a bunch of BS, because everybody in law school has a Black's Law Dictionary, and it starts, the new ones is at the 7th edition. This is right here is a 4th edition. Black's Law Dictionary. You got Bouvier's Dictionary. You got Ballantyne's Law Dictionary. You got Blackstone's Dictionary. Now, attorneys, did I say anything wrong yet? Do your research. Also, more books that you can pick up. This book right here that I got here for 5 cents, also called the American Bar Foundation. And for those that think that I'll make these books up, I just want to show y'all some of these pages in here. This says The Sources of Liberty, the American Bar Foundation. 5 cents for this book. So it talks about most scholars and most students in law don't even know about the Magna Carta. They said they don't even know about this. They said ask them these questions. They don't know anything about it. Also, I would say invest in a law dictionary, a regular dictionary also. Preferably, I would say a unabridged dictionary. Unabridged dictionary, you just look up every word that you may be looking for. You know, this is what I'm saying about the challenges. It ain't about us anymore. We got to start challenging these politicians and those so-called people that's sitting in a place of us. Unabridged dictionary. That's another one. Nature Knows No Color Line. If you're not familiar with this book, been out since the 1920s. Pick the book up. Nature Knows No Color Line. The whole history about who we are is in this book also. Another great book, which is mine is kind of beat up, is called Ancient and Modern Brits. Ancient and Modern Brits will talk about how we, the Moors, or so-called blacks, are the original British people in this book. 1884. Now ask your teachers why this book is not in no school. 1884, this is a history book. Why is it not in no school? Ask that question to your teachers. Ask that question to any of your politicians. Alright? What else we have here? Oh man, another good book. All those that like to fight for reparations. Have you read the Lincoln at Gettysburg in this book? It talks about they couldn't give reparations to free slaves. But you can be a free slave anyway. Free and a slave don't work. But in this book it talks about they cannot give reparations to emancipated slaves. This is a very good book. I don't know if you can find this book by Gary Wells. So these are just some of the books that that I like to build on. And also there's another very good book called The Alchemist. Oh, you gotta read this book, people. You gotta read this book. It will change your life. So these are just some of the books that I actually pick up and read. And can't forget the gospel hip hop. Pick up the KRS-One. If you ain't got this, this is the book. Ain't a religious book. Some people may get upset and say, well, KRS-One want religious. When you watch football, baseball, basketball, you watch it religiously. So don't get it twisted. We talk about hip hop. Hip hop is actually a culture. Ain't got nothing to do with that. Everybody has their culture. Hip hop's a culture. And this is why they trying to give you shit hop. You know what I mean? So let's get it, don't get it twisted, alright? So, we're gonna come right back. Part 2 with your man Sabir Bey. Peace.